Before we let you go, Mitch, I got some questions for you, some rapid-fire
Yep.
questions. I should have maybe given you a warning here, but just quickly off the top of your head, here's some questions for you in the long history of your team. All right, are you ready?
Yep.
Most unlikely title you have ever won, Justin Hill or Jimmy Gaddis? Or am I missing one?
I would say Gaddis, because Gaddis was a guy that, rode, but Gaddis was a very good rider and he got great starts, but he always had a tendency to crash, right?
Right.
And that was, we didn't have a team until late November or in November, and everybody was picked. And I looked and I'm like, I'm going to hire Jimmy Gaddis. He gets good starts. And everybody's like, are you serious? And I'm like, why not? And he won the first race and kept his act together and he won the championship.
An all-time quote when I worked on that story, it's on PulpMX.com, Mitch's unlikely 1993 title. The last guy we hired at Paris Raceway was really good, so we just hired Mike Chamberlain because McGrath was really good at Paris.
Yeah, we did. And
Right.
Chamberlain, you could ask, Jeremy or Phil Lawrence, they would tell you that guy ripped. He just,
You're like, well,
just stressed out.
it worked for the last guy. Let's do it again, Jimmy. Let's hire that guy. Okay. Outside of Ricky Carmichael, Jeremy McGrath, and Ryan Villapoto, besides those three, who's the best rider, the highest skilled rider you've had on the team? The guy that made you just go like, wow. Outside of Ricky, Jeremy, and RV.
I would say it would be Townley and Villapoto. Townley and Porcel.
Purcell. Okay. Yep.
Porcel was pretty phenomenal, and Ben was a jewel. Man, if he wouldn't have got hurt the first year, and he was a true professional. To deal with that guy was phenomenal.
All right.
I was hoping he would say BT. Oh, I love BT.
Yep.
The funniest rider you've ever had? The funniest guy, either unintentionally or unintentionally, whichever way.
Actually, Gaddis was pretty funny.
Was he? Yeah.
And Joe's pretty funny.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of anybody between, but Gaddis, was just this quiet little kid, and they used to interview him before the start, and Phil Lawrence said, I'm going to do what I got to do. If I got to move some people, I'm going to move them. I'm like, uh-oh. And I heard that, and then they go to Gaddis, and Allie's his mechanic, and Allie's a little bit rough, too. He's my buddy. And Gaddis says, well, I'm here to chew bubble gum or kick butt, and I'm all out of bubble gum. and Allie looks at me, and I looked at him, and I'm like, that is intimidating? And I'm like, oh, my God.
We're going to need to toughen that up a little bit. Right.
I know, and he would say, shoot. You couldn't get him to cuss.
Didn't you say that Phil would take his shirt off and walk by your truck?
But he was definitely a psych out master. He tried to be. And Gaddis, he's just all,
right.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Rider you missed out on signing that you wish you would have got?
Kevin Windham.
Oh, okay. I was going to say maybe you might say Ferrandis. I know you made a run. Or GL. GL would come to mind too, but yeah, Windham.
GL, I tried really hard, but I got him. But Windham was a slam dunk. He
Team
lived
Green.
with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so that made me think of I'm going off the rails now. Here's a second. So Wygan and I do this ReRaceables pod where we watch an old race and we talk about it, right? So we did 95 Daytona where the great Tim Ferry won, and that's another story for another time. But this was the era where if you rode east, you had to have an East Coast mailing address, right? Because that was what they made. That's how they designated you East and West Coast 125 riders. So Pichon is leading, and they say he's from Louisiana. They never mention he's French. And I told Wygan on the podcast, I guarantee you that's Wyndham's address. And Mitch just gave him Wyndham's address. Somewhere in Louisiana.
Allie's.
Okay, Allie's. All right. Oh, yeah. Okay.
If it was Louisiana, it's probably Allie's address,
okay.
I would assume.
All right.
But the funny thing, like I said, we were supposed to, I would assume, I don't know why it would be Louisiana, but Kevin should have rode for us and was already, his dad says, hey, I can't be out there, so, you're going to have to take care of him. And me and Allie lived together, and we're like, all right, so he can live here. And then Cowie says, "You can't have him. You're just like, no, we can't have him." And like he was going to go to Honda, and I called Yamaha and I said, I was mad at Honda because they fired me, and I said, I don't want him to go to Honda. So I called Keith and I said, "You got to hire this guy." And he's like, "Why are you calling me?" So I'm like, "Because if you don't, Honda's going to hire him, and I don't want him to go to Honda." So he hired him, but then they wanted Allie as the mechanic, and then they still lived there for 2 years. So like we're racing against him and living together.
Living together. So, but Cowie he was a Team Green guy, and Cowie said, "You can't have him." Like, but we can't have him either. Like, I don't understand. Like, Cowie was saying he could ride for another manufacturer over you. Like, that makes no sense.
Yeah,
that's
it's a very long story.
Okay, all right.
I don't even want to go there.
Okay,
like that's the one that kills me because I thought, Kevin was so good and like he was my friend. Like so. Not only did I not get to hire a good rider, I didn't get to hire my buddy. Like.
Well, this whole Daytona, they never mention Pichon's from France. They just say the Louisiana rider. And we're laughing. Just like, yeah, no. All right, moving on. The best-selling two-stroke pipe you've ever had?
Probably really early on, and I would say, like, it had to be probably 85 or 86 CR250 because 85 we did Honda's bikes to go to Europe and everybody found out about it, and then 86 Rick Johnson ran the pipe, and that was the first time a factory guy ran one, and it was first year of the production rule, and I mean those things
you couldn't keep them in stock.
No, you couldn't. They were just it was great.
Nice. I was thinking you would say the Chad Reed YZ250 pipe, or I was thinking, like, I remember one of those early 90 RMs, apparently, if you just threw a pipe on one, it was massive difference. But, okay, yeah, 86.
Well, now it would be, like, I would say, like, the best-selling pipe, like, I mean, all the time we got YZ 125 and YZ 250 pipes just constantly on back order. Like, as soon as we build them, they're gone. As soon as we build them, they're gone. And the same, we have like we have a great KTM 85, 125, and 250 pipe. And those things there's so many of the bikes, there's like, that bike fits 3 models, the Gas, Husky, and KTM, and they just sell out. Like, so we just build them like constantly.
Here's a Kellen question. This is a really good one, too. The fastest rider you had that never won a title? Who's the guy that never won with you a title, and you're just like, I don't know how? Stroop. Okay.
Wow.
That's a good pull.
That is a good one.
Yeah,
No, that guy, that dude was special. Like, he had some real speed.
Right. Yep, I would agree with that. All right, the last one for you. And this is the one you can use on the air for public consumption. Your best Jim Hawley story. Your best Jim Hawley story.
God, Jimmy Hawley, like, holy crap. Jimmy Hawley's the guy that would, like, because I was around, when he was racing and then afterwards and stuff.
Yep.
And, like, if you ever saw Jimmy, he'd be like, hey, man, come here. I got to show you this. And, like, something on his phone would be pretty amazing.
Yes. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
But it wasn't a jump, and it wasn't a corner.
Right. He told us a story here last time he was in studio. He got one blowjob before a main event in his career, and he got last in Buffalo '84, and he said he never did it again.
I got a blowjob, and I was shit in the main event.
So, I don't know. You can pass that on, Mitch, to riders,
Yeah, there's a couple of those guys, like, in the old days, and honestly how it was just that era, and, like, he was just on the cusp and maybe a really good privateer, and they ran it pretty ragged.
Yeah, they on both ends, right? Yeah, they really did.
Yeah, it's funny that Rodman was there this weekend, and I'm like, I met that guy, like, years ago at a after party when Grayson Goodman hosted a party in, like, Dallas or something.
Oh, really? He was there? Nice.
Yeah. Hey, man, what are you doing? A big old dude. I'm like, holy, that's Dennis Rodman.
Yeah. Rodman and Stu in the booth. Who knew? Yeah. Unbelievable. Mitch, thank you as always. Thanks for your time. I know you're a super busy guy. I appreciate the time on the show. As always, great interview. Thank you, man.
No worries. Thank you, guys.
All right, thanks. That's Mitch Payton, everybody. Brought to you by Renthal, renthal.com.
Awesome.
Stroop.
Stroop. I'm just so happy you said Ben Townley.
Oh, really?
I love Ben